into this morning. My name is Linda Toohey and I'm with Oceanics Surf School and Marine Education Centre located in Tramore in County Waterford. It's a coastal resort town. We've been in operation for 16 years. When we first started 16 years ago, our main aim was to teach surfing. It was, I suppose, an activity that we loved and that we partook in, myself and my husband. And we felt that it was something that we might be able to develop further. So we were founded in 1997. The idea came about, there was no such thing really as surfing in Ireland back then. The only way that you could actually learn to surf was if you joined a surf club. There were very few people that were surfing. So we had travelled abroad and seen the development of the sport in France and in Spain and in England. And when I found myself I suppose unemployed in a way, in that our son was a year old and my choice was to go back into the workforce or to start my own business, and I decided that starting my own business was the option that I was going to take. So in 1997 I did a Start Your Own Business programme, and I went in with a completely different idea, and I came out with the idea of beginning with of opening up a surf school. We quickly found within the first year of operations that people didn't know what surfing was and how we were actually going to bring this across to them. And we found that the best way to do that was to go back into the education and to actually try and get into the school environment. But our problem was that where we're located, we're quite close to the beach area, but we're located in a cottage. So we were limited with the amount of area that we would have and what we could bring in to complement what the surf school was offering, as in outdoor adventure, riding the wave, being on a beach location. So we sought advice, and it was suggested to us that maybe it might be advantageous to bring in an ecology walk, an environmental ecology walk of Tramore Sand Dune and beach area. And Tramore Sand Dunes is an EU protected area, but we didn't have the knowledge to actually do this. And maybe this wasn't an interest that we had ourselves, but we thought that it was a very good idea and would be quite complementary that we could offer this as we would go into primary and secondary schools. So we contacted the Enterprise Board, and they very kindly gave us a very small grant to bring in the expertise. And Amy Launa, she's quite well known now here in Ireland, came in and she mapped the beach area for us. And from that, oops, not sure what happened there. I didn't touch anything. But from that, we were able to develop a guided walking tour of the Tramore beach area and sand dunes. So in 1998, within a year of us starting as a surf school, we then became a surf school and a marine education centre. So over 55 years surfing experience and 29 years teaching sport makes me feel very old. You know, that's a combination of Paul and myself, but it still makes me feel old when I kind of see that over 38 years tourism experience behind us. We both had worked in the tourism industry. Let me see if I'm going the wrong way. Okay. We both had worked in the tourism industry before we started our own business, so that's why you see those numbers up there at the moment. So we have educational, tourism and leisure streamlined into two main sectors. So it was really from 1998, 1999 that we started to develop that identity where we brought in ecology and environmental. But again, it wasn't our expertise. We had to bring in expertise to actually to guide us along that path. And I suppose this is part of our green learning journey for us as well, because our background, I was talking to Peter last night in the bar, and Peter said that he remembers his father bringing him down to the beach and where they would pick up the litter, and from a very early age he was learning about the whole eco and environmental friendly. But my background wasn't that, so I was actually only picking this up as I brought the experts into the business, who would be the field ecologists and the environmental interpreters who were quite passionate about the whole environmental aspect of the business. So I was learning as well. My passion was surfing, and I was learning to develop and be more aware along issues that maybe we could bring forward as a business. So we developed educational packages, operate through the Oceanics Marine Education Facility, incorporate a variety of both sea and land. So we started to develop not just the beach hike down to the sand dunes, but we also brought in rock pool exploration, We brought in field studies, and we also brought in arts and crafts, which was along the line of beach combing. So this is where especially primary school children could be brought on a tour. They combined surfing with beach combing, so they'd go down to the beach with the guide, they'd have a talk about the whole environment and the environment that they might have been coming from, their home environment, whatever part of the country they were from, then the beach environment that they were going into, and how it can all help to minimise the amount of waste products that come up on our beach shores. So we'd go down and then we'd pick up the litter that was there, we'd come back to the surf school and they would make something from that that they would be able to take home. So it was about raising their awareness of environment, the environment, and for them to be, I suppose, to bring that knowledge back home with them. That is our challenge. Over the years, 16 years is a long time in business. We started with 10 surfboards, 20 wetsuits, a shed in the back garden. Oceanics today is now the Surf Cottage. In 2006 we moved out of the surf school into another property. So the Red Cottage now is the Surf School and Marine Education Centre. We've been featured on different programmes, Eco-Eye, No Frontiers, which would be eco-related programmes here in Ireland. I suppose prides itself, dedicated professional surf school, ecological awareness education offering, an emphasis on environmental responsibility. This is again part of our evolving. We didn't start off this way, but this is where we're at the moment, and what we hope to put across to people that come in and visit us, whether they're on school tour or whether they're during the summer months they come in on summer camp, or whether they're a person who's coming in for advice on where to stay in the area, that this is the message that we get across. How we do that has been the I suppose the challenge in a way, not just for us but also for our staff, because not all our staff would be coming from that background of ecology and environmental. A lot of them are surfers, and even though they would love the environment, they love the environment that they're in and they love what they're doing, they might not necessarily have that type of background. So over the years what we've tried to do is to not only educate people that are coming in on our educational packages, but also to educate our staff. We say here, this is a quote by Paul, it's important to work directly with primary school children, as it is at this stage the children take their first step in becoming more environmentally aware and will hopefully pass this knowledge on to their parents when they go home. This is something that we found has happened, in that one of the local schools every year they bring 80 first class students to us, and we bring them down. We have a full beach day, and part of that beach day is the rock pool games on the beach, but all the games are all around ecology and environmental awareness. One of the little boys, first class is 7 years of age, visited Oceanics school, went home and told his father about what he'd learned during the visit. The very next day the boy's father came to visit us in order to experience what his son had told him about. So that's at the level, and I think Jonathan probably hit on that a little bit where you're saying about socially interaction from businesses, where we can make the whole environmental awareness, where people can become a little bit more aware of what actually being green is all about. Greening the Wave project, these are just a couple of things. As I have become involved with GIFT, I suppose, and also through the BSc course that I've been doing in WIT, one of the modules that we actually covered over the last year was regulation and sustainability, and this really kind of brought home to me as to, okay, we were delivering the product, I suppose, and making other people aware, but maybe we weren't actually doing what we should be doing within our own business, and maybe we needed to look inwards and see exactly what type of footprint that we were leaving on the environment. So the Greening the Wave project, for us, that was really it. It was about us turning back inwards, looking to see what we were doing and maybe how we could actually make ourselves a little bit more green. So and as a small business and a family-run business, you don't always have the budget to be able to make huge changes. Sometimes small little steps are what's necessary. We looked inwards, and with the help from GIFT, we've now set up what I'm looking for. we're now examining exactly what our consumption, what our water consumption is, how we're using our energy, so what we're doing with our waste, how we're disposing of our waste, and we're over the last year we've been keeping a note of that, and that's ongoing, so that we can actually see what way that we as a business are performing. We introduced something very simple, a wooden stove. We would have been oil heated, but we've introduced a wooden stove. And as I said, with the help of Jane Russell O'Connor, we're looking at what levels that we're using within the business. Something very simple actually, which was our tumble dryer, where our bathroom toilet areas were, where we have an internal tumble dryer. Beside that is the drying room for our wetsuits, for our equipment. So very simply, we just put the hose out, and that's helped to with regards to drying all our gear, and has reduced our consumption on electricity in that area. From Dr. Anthony Foley, we've developed a key education facility informing and educating adults and also students at first and second level. It has been really, really good for me to have been involved, I think, in the whole gift initiative, and for us moving forward, we talk about the green journey as to how we first started, where we've evolved, and I suppose the next step is really where are we going, and what are our plans as we move forward. So for us, I think it's about introducing complementary green working operations. It's not just good for our business, but it's also, I think, very much the right thing to do.